Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. We're going to take our January look at Flesh and Blood sales data off of TCG Player as we've done every month for about 3 years now. First off, as usual, we have the horizontal axis set at 2 months, so you can look at December and then you can look at January next to it. And we see these first 3 boxes that we always look at: Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, Arcane Rising Unlimited, and Crucible of War Unlimited. All 3 of them being steeper in December and then shallowing out in total number of boxes sold in January. So much reduced sales. If we go to the month over month table, as usual, the December boxes sold, January boxes sold, the month over month percentage difference, the December average sales price, January average sales price, the month over month difference in that, and then multiply the boxes sold by the sales price to get the same kind of revenue numbers. And so, like I said, the sales shallowed out, flattened out in January from December. 60% drops in sales for Welcome to Wraith Unlimited and Crucible of War Unlimited, barely moving 3 cases of Crucible of War Unlimited in the month. And the price is essentially static, flat, 4% or 2% changes. Moving on to Monarch First Edition, Tales First Edition, and Everfest First Edition, if we plot them up there, we see less of a dramatic shallowing and flattening of the sales over the course of the month. A lot of turbulence in the prices, but if we go to the month over month table, we're going to see, again, a 60% drop in Monarch First Edition. And I remember when I made this video for the December sales data at the beginning of January, I was amazed at how December had outsold November despite Black Friday, even though most of the Black Friday sales were in November, and a little bit of it the last 2 days of Black Friday in 2024 spilled into December and helped those numbers a little, but not enough to make up the whole difference. So December was a standout month, but these drops into January are still pretty big. 33% drop for Tales of Aria First Edition and a 64% drop for Everfest First Edition. Again, prices pretty much flat, 5% differences. Moving on quickly to History Pack Volume 1. We never spend much time on this. 60 boxes sold over the course of 2 months. Not a big seller, and really for the English language History Pack Volume 1 product, just kind of a odd product that we probably necessarily didn't need, because we had enough boxes of the early expansions still sitting around. So a 40% drop in box sales from 37 to 23, and the price falling 7%, but still maintaining pretty much around that $90 point that it's been at for a long time. Moving into FAB 2.0. Now, as we've gotten here into February, we've seen a lot of action, but I don't know that will be reflected on the January numbers. The red line of Dynasty, of course, we see a pretty big jump. And when I did another video about this a couple days ago, I pointed out that there had been some big buyouts of Dynasty, and this may have been the first one here, where it looks like about 40 to 45 boxes were purchased in one day. Going to the month over month table, Dynasty, of course, sales up 46% in January over December, Uprising 41%, and Outsiders only 13%, even though Outsiders is now the second FAB 2.0 box to break $100. And we see that here in January, the average sales price had not gone up over 100 yet. It will probably manage to do that in February. $82 average sales price for Dynasty, and a 9% increase for Uprising, 7% increase for Outsiders. I still kind of consider even a 9% up or down in just 1 month to kind of be static in the noise. You know, if this were selling thousands of boxes a month and the price went up 10%, that would be a big deal. But when there's not that much volume on some of these older boxes and the price moves 9%, well, just a couple dealers in the market can cause that to happen. What do we see for the prices here? The red line for Dynasty, which was the real standout winner, it was still only about $84 at the end of the 7-day moving average plot at the end of January. So we'll see some dramatic performance out of that when we get around to the February data here in a couple weeks. Moving on further into FAB 2.0, Dusk Till Dawn, Bright Lights, and Heavy Hitters. Bringing up the month over month table, Dusk Till Dawn A mere 3% increase. Bright lights cratering, down 76% in sales from 38 boxes in December to 9 in January. You know, I kind of wonder how long it's going to take for that to turn around and really ascend in price. You know, how long will it take for bright lights to hit $100 a box, man? It could be 2, 3, 4 years at least. Heavy hitters from 22 boxes to 30 in the month, going up 36%. And again, prices kind of milling around +3, +7, -2. And our last three boxes, Part the Misfail and Rosetta, we'll put up there and add the Hunted. And of course, we're going to see a very steep line for the yellow Hunted line because it was the new release at the end of January. So this captures release day and gets all of that excitement that's there when it first comes out and everybody can get their hands on the new product. So going to the month-over-month table, we've got Part the Misfail down 50% in the month, Rosetta down 23%, and the Hunted number up 1,200%. But again, December, the pre-order pressure was very, very low, only 35 boxes. And then January, where the majority of the pre-orders would be expected to be, and the release day was 450 boxes. Now, the prices, of course, the Hunted has been averaging sale price right at $100 for these 2 months. I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet. Does it mean that there just flat aren't that many boxes of it out there? Because obviously the sales number in terms of raw number of boxes don't support that people are just going nuts for this product. It must be that there just haven't been as many boxes released into distribution and put on TCG Player. Maybe the boxes are being sold more in store. Maybe there's some kind of shift going on like that. And so the ones that make it to market here sell for more. But I would expect that if you own a card store and you can sell in the store for one price and you can sell on TCG Player for more, you're just going to effortlessly move more boxes over to TCG Player. I'm a little bit confused on why we're seeing this price all of a sudden on a brand new product. It's the first time we've seen that out of Legend Story Studios, at least for a FAB 2.0 product. There was a lot of hysteria in the early days back in 2020, 2021, but this is really an out-of-family kind of performance for a modern FAB 2.0 type of product. Now, if we switch over, we'll change the horizontal axis to days since release. We'll go ahead and throw heavy hitters back up there, and we'll plot that. And so what we see on the right side of the axis here is 0 days since release. That is release day. And so we can compare these 4 expansions in their own relative timelines. The yellow line of the Hunted is the one that we're really interested in since that's the new set. It sold about $50,000 worth of product on TCG Player up to and including release day, compared to about $40,000 for the red line of Rosetta, $70,000 for the blue line of Part the Misfail, and about $75,000 for the purple line of Heavy Hitters. So third place out of the last 4. And again, that's why I would say that, you know, people aren't just going nuts to get their hands on these boxes. So it must be that the supply is low, because the demand is, it's close to normal. But the supply must be low, and that's why you see that this yellow line here on the price chart is the highest of the 4 by a large margin. So I do this kind of data gathering and presentation every month. I've done it for, golly, 3 years now, I think. So you could go back on the channel and find all of the Flesh and Blood sales data off of TCG Player uninterrupted for 3 years. So subscribe if you want to catch that, and check out all the rest of my content. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.